Welcome, dear listener, to a world long ago. Let us step softly into the quiet days of the Middle Ages, to walk the silent halls of stone castles, to hear the faraway toll of church bells across green valleys, to witness the calm courage of those who carried a sword with honor. Tonight we shall travel through the gentle rhythms of a knight's life, not the clang and clash of fierce battles, but the steady breathing of loyalty, the warmth of firelight in the great hall, the calm sound of a horse's hooves on a forest road. Set down your burdens, rest your mind, allow the candlelight of centuries past to soothe you. Imagine yourself in a world of stone keeps, quiet courtyards, and distant trumpet calls echoing on the wind. You are safe here, wrapped in the peace of a time long gone. Let us begin with a young boy, no more than 7 years old, who dreams of one day wearing the shining armor of a knight. He begins his days early in the manor house. The heavy wooden shutters open to the pale glow of morning. The air is crisp and smells of hearth smoke, damp straw, and fresh bread baking in the kitchens below. Servants move softly through the halls, carrying baskets, stoking the fires, sweeping the stone floors. This boy, a squire in training, is brought to live under the protection of a powerful lord, to learn the ways of service, respect, and the first, faint lessons of knighthood. He is taught to rise early, to bow deeply, to answer politely, to move with quiet dignity, even though his heart sometimes races with excitement. Each day he studies letters, numbers, and the long codes of courtesy. In the stable yard, the horses shift and stamp, steaming in the cold morning. The boy is taught to brush their flanks, to lift their hooves, to feed them grain and hay. Their calm presence is a comfort to him, and their warm breath in the winter air reminds him that these strong animals will one day carry him into a world beyond the manor walls. In the training yard, he watches older squires practice with wooden swords. Their movements are slow and precise, under the watchful eye of the master-at-arms. The boy mimics their footwork, stepping lightly across the worn ground, imagining the day he will hold a real blade in his own hands. At night, he returns to the page's quarters, a long wooden room above the kitchens, where the younger boys sleep. The air is filled with the scent of dried rushes, old wool blankets, and the faint crackle of the fire below. They whisper stories to one another in the dark, about dragons and distant wars, about heroism and the shining path of a true knight. Sometimes he cannot sleep for the excitement in his chest. He pictures himself one day wearing a surcoat sewn with his family's crest, standing tall and proud before the lord of the castle. The stars outside the narrow window twinkle like tiny candles, as if blessing his dreams. Seasons pass. The boy grows. Each year he learns a little more, how to ride, how to care for armor, how to speak with humility and respect. Slowly he grows stronger, and the days of play shift toward the seriousness of preparation. His teachers speak softly of chivalry, the knight's code, built on courage, loyalty, honesty, and mercy. These are the pillars upon which knighthood rests, as important as the strongest steel. He begins to understand that being a knight is not only carrying a sword, but carrying the weight of one's honor gently and faithfully through a world that is sometimes cruel. One day, when he is nearly grown, he is called to his lord's chamber. There, the old knight with kind eyes and a tired voice tells him that he is ready. His time as a squire has come to an end. He will soon stand as a knight in his own right, to serve and to protect. A night of vigil is set, the most sacred moment in a knight's journey. He bathes in perfume water to cleanse his body and soul, and is dressed in simple white robes. He steps alone into the small chapel, lit by beeswax candles that flicker against the cold stone walls. The air is still, carrying only the faint perfume of burning wax and evergreen boughs laid by the altar. He kneels before the relics, his hands folded, his head bowed. Hours pass as he prays, thinking of his family, of the faces of those who have taught him, of the path ahead. The quiet of the night wraps around him, and in the hush he feels a deep peace settle over his heart. When dawn comes, he rises, calm and ready. In the great hall, nobles gather to witness the dubbing. The master places a sword upon his shoulders, declaring him a knight. His heart beats slow and steady as the words are spoken, the vows of courage, loyalty, and protection. The ceremony is not loud or fierce, but quiet, full of grace. There is no need for shouting or bright banners, only the simple promise made under heaven to live with dignity, to defend the weak, to stand for what is right. Later that day, the new knight rides out into the castle courtyard, wearing a freshly painted shield, his crest shining on the cloth of his surcoat. The people gather, smiling, some cheering softly, others bowing their heads in respect. He guides his horse carefully, steady hands on the reins, remembering the days when he was a small boy brushing horses in the stable. The air feels crisp and new. The years ahead will bring their tests, long journeys, feasts, dangers and choices. But for now, in this moment, there is only peace. The life of a knight is not endless battle. More often, it is the slow, patient work of protecting the land, helping villagers repair their fences after a storm, standing guard on quiet nights, riding with the steward to inspect fields, offering a kind word to a frightened child. There are days spent in training yards, swinging a sword against a wooden post, practicing strikes and parries again and again, until the motions are part of his body, as easy as breathing. There are days on patrol, riding through green meadows and forest roads, scanning the horizon for bandits or wolves, and finding only peace. In the castle, life moves with its own calm rhythm. In the mornings, the knight joins other warriors in the great hall, where rough-hewn tables are set with simple bread, cheese, a bowl of warm broth. The light of the rising sun pours through narrow windows, painting the stone walls with gold. Pages and squires hurry about, carrying messages, fetching water, tending to their lords. The great fireplace burns all day, its wood crackling, casting a steady warmth into the cavernous hall. After the meal, the knight might train or help the steward settle small disputes. A woman comes to complain of a neighbour's goats breaking through her garden. A miller seeks protection from thieves on the road. Each case is heard patiently, settled with fairness. Evening comes with a sense of quiet. Torches flicker along the castle walls, and the night watch takes their posts. The knight might walk the ramparts, gazing across the moonlit fields, hearing the distant call of an owl. The stars overhead feel close, bright, and reassuring. There is a timelessness to this world, as though the stones themselves remember every footstep. Inside, in the chambers, the knight removes his sword and sets it aside with care. The steel, gleaming in the lamplight, is not only a tool of battle, but a symbol of his oath. It is polished until it gleams, its edges checked with quiet devotion. Before sleep, he may kneel beside his bed to offer thanks for another day, a day of peace, a day of service, a day of quiet courage. And in dreams the knight returns to the time he was a child, running barefoot through meadows, climbing trees, watching hawks circle overhead. Those memories warm him, reminding him that even under armor and duty, he is still human, still gentle, still a child of the earth. The castle itself sleeps. Its stones settle in the cool night air. Its halls echo with the breathing of those within. Somewhere, a dog shifts on straw. A horse stamps gently in its stall. The hush is deep and steady and kind. Beyond the walls, the lands of the Lord stretch across rolling hills, patchwork fields, and quiet forests. In spring, the air carries the scent of new grass and wildflowers. In autumn, it smells of wood smoke, damp leaves, and apples ripening in orchard groves. The knight rides these lands often, not only to keep order, but to see the people he serves. Peasants tending their flocks, children splashing in a stream, elders sitting on benches outside their cottages. These are the lives he has sworn to protect. He rides slowly, offering a nod, a gentle word. Sometimes he helps mend a broken fence, lifts a fallen branch, offers to carry a message from one village to another. The people look to him not only for defense, but for kindness. A true knight, they say, is not hard or cruel, but steady, respectful, gentle where he can be, strong where he must be. At night, when he camps on the road, the knight tends to his horse before tending to himself. He brushes the animal, checks its hooves, speaks in a low voice to calm it. Only then does he unbuckle his armor, set his sword within reach, and lay out his simple bedroll. The stars watch over him, ancient and calm, the same stars he saw through the window as a child. Their quiet light soothes him. A small fire crackles nearby, enough to warm a bowl of broth, enough to push back the night's chill. Sleep comes easily, wrapped in the gentle certainty that tomorrow he will rise and serve again. Sometimes, when he travels far, he visits monasteries, stone houses of prayer that stand in the green countryside. The monks welcome him with fresh bread, a clean place to rest, quiet conversation. They teach him new prayers, share news of the world beyond the forest, and speak softly of peace. In their gardens, bees buzz among herbs and roses, and fountains murmur sweetly. In those places, the knight remembers that there is more to life than duty, more than steel. There is also faith, kindness, healing. The monks tell him stories of old saints who gave up all they had to help the poor. Stories of miracles, stories of hope. They remind him to hold mercy in his heart, even when the world seems dark. He carries their words with him, woven into his spirit. When the knight returns home at last, The castle welcomes him. Servants open the great doors. The warm scent of bread and roasting meat drifts through the hall. Children gather, eager to see if he has stories of distant places. His horse is led away to the stables, and he takes a moment to stand quietly in the courtyard, looking up at the towers that have watched over him since he was a boy. It feels safe and strong. In his chamber, he removes his armor and sets it carefully on its stand. The sword rests nearby, its blade clean, its hilt polished. Feeling the weariness slip away, he sits by the window, looking out across the lands that stretch to the horizon. The fields are calm, dotted with sheep and cattle. Thin columns of smoke rise from village chimneys. All is well for now. He gives thanks for another day. A day without battle. A day of peace. A day when no cry for help went unanswered. The candle burns lower, its flame steady. Beyond the walls the night deepens and the stars grow even brighter. Sleep comes to him slowly, like a kind hand settling on his shoulder. His breathing evens. His heart feels light. The quiet weight of service, held with love, guides him toward dreams. He dreams of green fields, of horses running free, of laughter and sunlight. He dreams of a world where children grow up safe, where a blade is raised only in defense of the weak, where the code of chivalry lives on in every heart. And in those dreams, he finds deep rest. May you too rest tonight, wrapped in peace, with courage in your heart and gentleness in your hands. The night's road is long, but he does not walk it alone. He is held by his people, by his faith, by the quiet hope that tomorrow can always be better. So breathe now. Let your worries soften. Let your breath match the slow rhythm of hoofbeats on a forest road, the hush of wind through castle arches, the steady patience of a knight's vow. You are safe here. You are at peace. Sleep well and good night.